Welcome students. Today in this video we will discuss about the characteristic feature of phylum Chordata from chapter 4 Animal Kingdom. So let us discuss now the general characteristic features of phylum Chordata. The main feature of chordates are the presence of a well-developed notochord at any stage of the life, a dorsal tubular nerve cord, and paired pharyngeal gill slits. The body of the members of phylum Chordata is usually bilaterally symmetrical. They are triploblastic animals. It means they contain 3 germ layers. They are true coelomate animals. It means they contain a true body cavity which is lined by mesoderm. They have organ system level of organization. It means all the functions of the body is performed by different organ systems. They have a closed circulatory system. It means blood flows inside the closed blood vessels inside the body. A more unique feature of phylum Chordata is the presence of a post-anal tail, which is used in some organisms to maintain the balance of the body. On the basis of their characteristic features, phylum Chordata is further divided into 3 subphylums. These are Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. Subphyla Urochordata and Cephalochordata are usually referred to as protochordates. These are exclusively marine animals. In Urochordates, notochord is present only in larval stage in the tail region. Hence, they are named as Uro means tail, Urochordata. The common examples of this subphylum are Acetia or Hardmania, Salpa, and Doliolum. The second subphylum is Cephalochordata, in which the notochord extends from head to tail region and is persistent throughout the life. Example, Branchiostoma or Amphioxus. As you can see, the first diagram showing the external organization of adult Acedia and second diagram represent Salpa. Both of these belongs to subphyla Urochordata, while the last diagram shows Amphioxus, which belongs to subphylum Cephalochordata. The next subphylum is subphylum Vertebrata. The characteristic of this phylum are notochord is present during the embryonic period only. It means notochord is present only during the early developmental stage, which is replaced by a cartilaginous or a bony vertebral column in the adults. They have a ventral muscular heart as the main organ of the circulatory system. The heart can be divided into 2, 3 or 4 chambers. Kidneys are present as a main excretory organ, or it can also help in the process of osmoregulation. They contain paired appendages for the locomotion. Phylum Chordata can be classified into 2 subphylums on the basis of presence or absence of jaws. These two subphylums are Agnatha and Gnathoestomata. Phylum, subphylum Agnatha is characterized by the absence of jaws. Therefore, they are also called as the jaw-less vertebrates. Second subphylum is Gnathoestomata. They contain jaws, hence the members of this group is called as the jawed vertebrates. Now, Agnatha is further classified into class Cycloostomata, and its characteristic feature are they have sucking and circular mouth without jaws. They live as ectoparasites on some other fishes. They do not contain scales and paired fins. Cranium and vertebral column is cartilaginous in nature. They migrate to fresh water from oceans for spawning and then die after spawning. The larva returns to the oceans after the process of metamorphosis, and once they reach to their destination, they again start traveling towards the fresh water for the reproduction. Example of this class is Petromyzon. As you can see in the diagram, it contains dorsal fin, caudal fin, which are unpaired. They have 7 pair of external gill slits and lateral line organs, which helps to maintain balance of the body. Subphylum Gnathoestomata is further divided into two superclasses, species and Tetrapoda. And superclass species is further divided into two classes, that is Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. Chondrichthyes are called as cartilaginous fishes as they have endoskeleton made up of cartilage. Their heart is ventral. Their mouth is ventral in position. Gill slits are without operculum. Skin has placoid scales. They are usually oviparous, and fertilization takes place usually in the body of female, that is the internal fertilization. They do not contain air bladders, so they can swim constantly to avoid sinking. Teeth are backwardly directed to hold or to capture the prey. These are the modified placoid scales. Notochord is persistent throughout the life, and males have claspers on pelvic fins. Examples: torpedo, trigon, and scoliodon. The next class is Osteichthyes. They have a bony endoskeleton. Mouth is usually terminal in position. They have 4 pair of gill slits covered by operculum. Skin has cycloid or ctenoid scales. They are usually viviparous and fertilization is external. They have air bladder which regulates buoyancy. Examples: hippocampus, Labirohita, Katla Katla. Moving on to the next, Gnathoestomates. As we have discussed earlier, it is divided into superclass species and Tetrapoda. Superclass Tetrapoda is further divided into 4 classes, that is Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and Mammalia. So let us discuss the characteristic feature of class Amphibia. The members of class Amphibia can live in aquatic as well as in terrestrial habitats. Their body is divisible into head and trunk. Their skin is usually moist and they do not have scales on the body. Tympanum represent ears, and cloaca is the common chamber where alimentary canal, urinary duct and reproductive tract open. The members of class Amphibia can respire by gills, lungs, mouth or skin. Their heart is three-chambered. They are usually oviparous and having larval stage in their development. This kind of development is known as the indirect development. Example of this class are Bufo, Rana and Hyla. As you can see in the diagram, salamander, it is also an amphibian. It looks like lizard. Now, moving on to the next class is class Reptilia. They can creep or crawl for locomotion. Body has dry and cornified skin and epidermal scales or scutes. Tympanic membrane or tympanum represents ear. Limbs, when present, are two pairs. Snakes and lizards shed scales as skin cast. Their heart is four-chambered, but four-chambered heart is present in alligator and crocodiles. They are oviparous and direct development is present in them. It means they do not contain larval stages in their life history. Example of this class are crocodiles, turtle, tortoise, all kinds of snakes. Now, the next class is class Aves. They are characterized by the presence of feather and beak. Their forelimbs are modified into wings. Hind limbs have scales. There is no gland present on their skin except oil gland at base of the tail. Endoskeleton is bony with air cavities. Hence, their bones are called as the pneumatic bones. It is the characteristic feature of class Aves. This kind of bone helps them to achieve buoyancy, which assists in flight. They contain air sacs in their body, which are connected to lungs to supplement respiration during long flights. They are oviparous or egg-laying animals, and they do not contain a larval stage in their life history. Hence, this kind of development is called as the direct development. All kinds of birds, pigeon, sparrow, crow, are the examples of this class. Now the next class is class Mammalia. The members of class Mammalia shows the presence of mammary gland to nourish their young ones. They have two pairs of limbs, skins, has hairs. They have external ears or pinna for the to receive sound vibration. They contain different types of teeth in their jaws. They are viviparous animals. and direct development is present in this class. A common examples of this phylum are kangaroo, elephants, whale, zebra, tiger, lion, leopards, etc. That's all students for today's lecture. Thank you for watching.